All right, characters. Depending on the game you're playing, right? Every game's different. Obviously, say old D&D dungeon crawl games, you randomly design a character. You hopefully can pick the class and the race you want to play. You outfit them, and you join a group of 3 to 4, 5, whatever other people that are created the same, right? And there's an assumption that you put the motives of the entire group ahead of your character's motives. And that's the big difference between D20 D&D, for instance, is we're all going to make some concessions that I am this greedy thief, but and my own wants, desires, and motivations will have to play a step back to the group's desires. We are together as a team going to go into this dungeon to do our thing. That doesn't mean I can't make quips as the greedy thief. Doesn't mean I can't say to the group at some point, I think I should get a greater share. It doesn't mean that maybe at some point I might even attempt to steal a little more treasure from behind the backs of my colleagues, etc. Right? Hopefully you're not a dick when you play, but there's nothing to say that's completely ridiculous, as they could catch you stealing treasure. My point is this, but you come together to agree that the motive of the party trumps your individual motives, right? I can still be a character who has certain beliefs and feelings and attitudes. I'm going to play in alignment. I'm going to adhere to my God and the orthodoxy of my religion as a cleric, and right, those things exist, but there will be concessions to say, right? There could be a disagreement. I cannot stand here, right, and allow you to resurrect the dead in my presence, right? There could be moments of conflict between party members, et cetera, et cetera. But we're talking about the lone sheep, the guy who wants to go left when everyone else is going right. That's just not conducive to good play. And I don't care how much your character says going left. That's what my character would do. He would go left here. Well, play another game. Play a game where going left. The game system, the narrative, the style of game supports your character going left, because that's not why you play, in my opinion, D&D, AD&D, Pathfinder, fourth edition, fifth edition. I mean, those games are designed for the party to work together to do a thing, to achieve a thing. So if you want to play a character where his motives influence his behavior and choices, then you need to play with a group or a game system where all of those things can be adroitly handled. And this, I think, is paramount to why there's troublesome players in your D&D group, right? They need to find a group and a game system or a style of gaming that suits that thing, right? There are games that literally ask you before session, how are you together? It draws you together. It binds you. It's supposed to help teach you to supersede your private goals and your private character motivations and subjugate yourself to the group's desires. That's why you connect the dots before session. There's games that say, what are your motives? Ubiquity. Your character has a kind of a personality, and what are his motives? And when you play up to those things, you can get a Benny for it. You can get a device that you can then use later to succeed at a difficult task, right? If you play to those things, they are character role-playing devices that help shine a light on who your character is in a mechanical way. That doesn't mean your character is a black sheep or is the oddball or is the rebel, right? Again, you may play in a group or a session or style of gaming where you could play Hollow Earth Expedition and your character goes left and the rest go right, right? You're going to have to confirm that with the people you're playing with, how that's going to function. Dark Age of Man is such that you can definitely go left, well, and one guy's going right, and the third guy is not going anywhere, right? He's running his stall at the edge of the Dredge River, buying fish from fishermen so he can sell fish, right? He's trying to buy the fish as they come in. Hey, don't worry about cleaning your fish or anything. I'll buy them from you. right here, right now. I'll do all that work and I'll turn around and I'll sell them and I'll pay you. And this is your profit for your fishing. And I'm going to make a profit by adding a little bit to the fact that I've cleaned the fish and prepared the fish for the customer, right? I can find my niche between the fisherman and the customer, right? You say, who wants to do that? I don't know, but you can. And there's going to be an RSC, river floods, Vikings raid, something occurs that makes your fisherman tantamount to having to survive that scenario or that situation. If I don't know why you would, but you can, and your character can have relevancy to the session without confounding some goals of success for the group, the party, right? Or even the GM. There's no goal for the GM, right? The goal, the GM should not be thinking before session starts, they need to do this, right? So I always try to play in character as character. I try to recognize how I'm going to respond to everything I get in character as character via my motivations and my personality. However, I can also recognize when I have to play a subservient role to my personal motives, etc., as a character, because we are attempting to play a particular type of game that is asking us all to invest ourselves as characters, but in doing and achieving the thing, the dungeon crawl, the creep, the exploration, solving a mystery, right? Call of Cthulhu, investigating and discovering and trying to solve a mystery, etc., etc. Okay. All of them work, and all of them allow you to play character. They allow you to play in character as character, but they don't all allow you to be in the lead. They don't all allow you to break with the group, because it's not conducive to good sessions, not conducive to good gaming. Dark Age of Man, on the other hand, because of the style and the way the game is designed to be played and the way you are meant to represent a human being in the world with your own wants, desires, and motives, right? Hopefully you actually come to the game thinking, I am the acolyte to Father Falcone. I would like to progress. I mean, it'd be great if you're going to make an acolyte. You say, well, what's my goal? Do I want to become the tutor to the kids? Do I want to become a bishop? Do I want to use this to vault myself to a higher level at the Howardtown Abbey? Hopefully you're thinking about your character. He's not just playing an acolyte for 4 sessions and stumbling around in the dark. Hopefully there's something your acolyte is interested in being, doing, or achieving, right? But in D&D, I wouldn't recommend that. Your goal is to survive and is to adventure and is to hopefully level up and take on greater challenges. But your character could still have some ideal that I would like to eventually have my own stronghold. Okay, well, that's a long way away, man. That's 9 levels away. That's 10 levels away. So for you to achieve that, you are going to have to adhere to working together and adhere to not breaking the party, adhere to the goals of the party, or you're never going to get to level 10 to have your stronghold, right? But I think this is important because I think this is where many players go afoul of their group and their session. They are so adhering to their character and their character's wants and motivations and desires that they would confound the actual intent of the game, therefore breaking basically the intent of the game, the goal of everybody there at the table. And that's something I think we all know, but we don't always put it into that understanding that you need to choose another style of play or another group or another type of game that allows for that. Or maybe there are people playing D&D campaigns and they have this kind of ability to do that. But if they do, then they're playing, I guess people refer to that as story mode. And more importantly, they have to be fudging literally the data, because if I roll a Wandering Monster and they're level 3 and they're in the woods and I roll the Wandering Monster woodland area level 3, they would not survive long by themselves in the woods as the rebel, right? So, all right, thanks.
Extreme ways are back again, extreme places I didn't know. I broke everything new again, everything that I don't.